but there was just enough room to be able to clear the arms. Really held their own. As we see Corey Anderson back into the attack with the ball. Again, not very often that we do see him with the ball, but he's been great. He's doing the job for USA, as all their bowlers have so far. Shakib Hassan, he's out there just the 4 runs off 7 deliveries. You can tell that's been tough going out there for them. And here they are, 22 off 16.
Ali, I said it earlier, if you're expecting to play against the Americans, you're looking for Ali Khan, you're looking for Jesse.
But there was just enough room to be able to clear the arms. T20 is Shakib Hassan has just scored 4 runs off 7 deliveries, and we're past the halfway mark.
We are past the halfway mark. The overall scoring rate is 6.39. Manali, that translates to a scoring rate to a score of 128, which is a shockingly low score were that to carry out.
Short pitch delivery, looking to pull that, nowhere in position. Shakib Hassan.
And if you did not expect Corey Anderson to bowl, you certainly would not have expected a short delivery from Corey Anderson. Again, in his younger days, he was a lot quicker than he is right now. These days, he is a 33-year-old, and he generally is still athletic, but nowhere near as fast as he used to be. So that short ball definitely catching Shakib Hassan by surprise.
Looking for but there was just enough room to be able to clear the arms.
Score of 128, which is a shockingly low score were that to carry out.
Short pitch delivery, looking to pull that, nowhere in position. Shakib Hassan.
And if you did not expect Corey Anderson to bowl, you certainly would not have expected a short delivery from Corey Anderson. He's still athletic, but nowhere near as fast as he used to be. So that short ball definitely catching Shakib Hassan by surprise.
Struggling out there. And, you know, to your point of the bouncer, it did quite dip before it got to the keeper.
That was
but there was just enough room to be able to clear the arms.
They don't get a whole lot of bounce out of this wicket. I think you saw evidence of it there.
Pitched short again, hitting the deck hard, but it Shakib Hassan tried from bat on that. do the same as well. Just shocking to see how badly informed Shakib Al Hasan is at the moment.
Well, I said it earlier on, Manali, that when you're planning for the U.S. side, that you would be looking to dominate, or the ones who would feature the most, would include Harmeet Singh. One of the better bowlers that you'll see, former U19 player, won the U19 World Cup in 2012, if memory serves correctly, and the first player ever picked in the Major League Cricket's draft last year, right here in the Houston area, Clear Lake. Solid orthodox left-arm spinner, and he's now up against Tawid Ridoy, who is falling behind a little bit here. Now 23 from 18. And look at this. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Oh, you have got to be kidding, Manali. What is it that I just saw? If I were to tell you that one of these teams was a test side and the other team was an associate side, you would be forgiven if you got those those categorizations wrong.
That was absolutely terrible from the two batters. Complete miscommunication, but I'm just going to stand and watch the ball come back. At least some effort would have been appreciated. But there was just enough room to be able to clear the arms.
Falling behind a little bit here. Now 23 from 18. And look at this. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Oh, you have kidding, Manali. What is it that I just saw? If I were to tell you that one of these teams was a test side and the other team was an associate side, you would be forgiven if you got those those categorizations wrong.
That was absolutely terrible from the two batters. Complete miscommunication, but the shocking part, the miscommunication.
You expect for there to be a difference in terms of overall drop catch by Manan Patel notwithstanding, but since then the batters really have not looked very good at all. Najmul Hussain Chanto 3, Tawid Ridoy still there fighting a lone battle, it looks like. 24 from 20, Shakib run out for 6. Now Mahmudullah, one of the more experienced, in fact the most experienced Bangladeshi player, not yet off the mark.
Played soft hands into the offside, and Mahmudullah, he is off the mark. What is going for Bangladesh's, or in Bangladesh's way, I should say, is Mahmudullah is out there in the middle. He is one of the batters who's in form at the moment. Played a really good series against Zimbabwe recently, and you'd have to say he's going to have to save them today, because at this run rate, I don't think we are going to be too worried if I were USA. USA is saying, you know what, I think we've got enough batting in our lineup to come and chase this down.
The run rate is now under 6, if you can believe it. It's 5.92. That projects to a score for 118, Manali. Not nearly enough, I wouldn't think.
It's pulled away. There's a fielder there. It's just going to be another single. The interesting part, Brian, is the coach of USA, Stuart Law, he has actually worked with the Bangladeshi side before. And that's going to be the end of the over. 71 for 4 after 12. As Bangladesh continues to struggle.
6 minutes down, yeah. Tell him. Bowling change. Right arm over.
Jesse Singh replacing Corey Anderson. What a spell he has bowled so far. The line that he has bowled and the length has just been impeccable. Very hard to play. That's picked up. And it's going to be a maximum. Effortless shot from Ridoy. Slightly overpitched. And smashed over the head of the fielder at long on.
They need plenty more of these. Jesse Singh getting that one just a touch too straight and in the slot, slanting in toward the pads. And look at this, clean strike. In fact, not quite towards the pads, but it was more the length than the line on that occasion. It sails over sort of wide of mid-wicket. It goes away for a welcome 6. You need a whole lot more of those if you're Bangladesh to sort of change the trajectory of this game.
Well, we had said he's bowled impeccably. Jesse Singh. Hoping that's not some commentator's curse there.
That's exactly what that is, actually.
Of course, we were talking about Stuart Law. He's coached a lot of these Bangladeshis. 2012 is when he was the coach for Bangladesh. It's well bowled. Better length this time. Pushed into the leg side. Oh, and not sure.
A clean pickup there by Harmeet Singh might have asked a question or two at the striker's end, because to me that looked like Ridoy was struggling just a touch to get back on strike, and had that been a clean pickup and a typically strong throw that Harmeet Singh has, that would have been interesting.
This is 1% factors that make a big change in the end of the game. Ridoy well inside his crease. He's picked that up, and that's a big hit. That is out of this ground.
Wow. So he absolutely drills this one. Jesse Singh again getting that length. You're exactly right, Manali, pointing that out. He's deep inside his crease. So a delivery that might have been almost like a Yorker, he turns it into a half volley because of how deep in his crease he's batting. And that sails well.
But there was just enough room to be able to clear the arms. Pushed into the leg side, pick up a single, one delivery to come in the over. You said cat and mouse game, Brian. We're going to see another maximum before this over's done.
Well, now Mamadullah is going to be on strike. Mamadullah 1 from 1. I don't know necessarily that here, but you're also at the point where you're starting to run out of deliveries. 4-3 ball. And say, all right, let's see if we can cash in. We've already scored 15 from land a last ball of over number 13.
Going to be a single to end the over. Might have been tight. Diving effort. Ridoy, he's in, he's safe. But maybe a direct hit might have been closer.
A direct hit would have been close. This should give us a good look here. And a clean pickup. You don't run sharp singles to Nush Kenjige and live to tell the tale. Unfortunately for the U.S. this time, Nush Kenjige not being able to get that direct hit. That is the end of over number 13 rather. Score is 87 for 4.
Let's go, boys.
In fact, this should give us a good look here.
Hold up.
I mentioned that umpires have access to that square camera replay if they need it. This will give us oh, he's gone. He is gone by a foot and a half if that hits. Day that he missed that direct hit, because that would have been spectacular had that hit.
Yeah, a lot closer than we would have assumed, or a lot further, I should say. And we would have assumed he was out by miles.
Been Ridoy. That would have been all the difference in the world. But Mamadou is back on strike. Sing up the Harmeet Singh.
Shipping down, played into the offside. It's going to run away for 4 runs. Fielder nowhere close to that. And in the end, a fairly effortless shot. This is the difference that Mamadou makes. He's able to work the ball around.
He skips down and opens the face just a little bit to work that ball square and plays it so well that even with the outfield a lot thicker than it ordinarily is here at Prairie View, the ball's still racing away to the point boundary for 4.
Pushed into the leg side. Should just be the single. 2 fielders converging. In the end, it's 1 run. But when you strike a bowler for a boundary of the first delivery and over, of the over, I should say, you've already put them under some pressure. And at the moment, when you've got Ridoy, who looks fairly set, 40 runs of 27 balls, Mamadou, who's generally in good form. Oh, that's a full toss. Gets away with that. Almost a run out. Everything happening in that delivery. Full toss should have been smashed. Goes straight to the fielder. And Ridoy, he's playing with some fire here in the field.
Oh my goodness.
Sweeped quite unconvincingly into the leg side. Pick up a single.
Going back to that previous delivery, it was a full toss. He could have done anything with it that he wanted to. Ended up picking out Stephen Taylor at backward point, and that throw back to the keeper very much could have been a run out.
Making some room, playing it through the offside. This time deep covers come around. It's going to be another single. Very impressed when you watch Mamadou how he uses his feet and makes some space, makes some room, and tries to work the ball into the gaps. This is what we haven't seen so far. And as I say that, there's been a no ball.
Oh! Unforgivable. Bullet shot, caught at extra cover, and from the celebration to the disappointment. Great catch by Corey Anderson. Hammered, absolutely hammered. And you'll see here, immediately called signal no ball by umpire Samir Bandaker. That catch went straight to the fielder. Again, that's Corey Anderson standing at, I'm sorry, that's Andreas House standing at extra cover. And now this next delivery is a free hit.
Well bowled, right into the pads. They pick up a quick single, and unforgivable for a spinner to bowl a no ball, Brian. I could understand pacers maybe running in, you might put an effort into it, into your final stride, but as a spinner, what's your excuse?
A, you don't have an excuse. B, Harmeet Singh is a spinner who always tests that front line. So it's going to be something that he wants to work on. But in this occasion, it actually cost him a wicket. That is the end of over number 14. Bangladesh is 96 for 4.
It cost him a wicket. It cost him a wicket to his name. Andreas House took a stinger. You could see him just taking a look at his hand at the end of it. All in vain.
Andreas House, one of 3 wicketkeeper batters on the side. Manang Patel, Shayan Jahangir being the other 2. Absolutely did well there.
Now Travalkar back into the action. This is played into the offside. It's just going to be a single. We've got another 6 overs to go in this game. We're ambling along at 6.86 runs and over in a T20 international game where you've got a full member taking on an associate side, and you'd have to say the full member is on the wrong end of this.
They're on the ropes, and they've recovered somewhat in the last few overs. 36 coming from the last 5. But as they take a quick single here, Manali, it looks as though the overall scoring rate is now 6.84. 6.84 projects to a score of 137. We said it a number of times already. Looking at this pitch, and especially given that Bangladesh was batting first, the full member nation batting first, you would think at minimum 170, 180 would have been on the board. For them to get that far, they would need to go from here at a much faster rate than they are right now. 13 and over from here gets them to 172.
Chipping down the wicket, played into the offside. Rithoy trying to move this momentum up now, and you mentioned it. You would think that they're going to need close to 160, 170 on the mark to be anywhere close to this batting lineup that USA has. We've seen them in action against Canada recently. Mind you, completely different bowling attacks. But what we do know is there's a core group of guys who are in form and more than capable of taking on this total. It's been a decent start from Netravalkar. Just 3 runs in the over so far.
You mentioned the batting side of the Americans. Top 3 are very good. Stephen Taylor, left-handed batter, very aggressive at the top of the order. Monank Patel is also going to be the other opener, I would imagine. And then the number 3 batter, one down, will be Andrea Gauss. Those 3 can put together 110 runs, 120 runs by themselves without much effort. And so it's going to be incumbent on the Bangladeshis to find ways to keep them quiet. And of course, you still have some batting to do here. Still another 32 balls to come. So you're going to have to maximize the utility of these next 32 balls.
A decent over so far, though. I mean, you've mentioned the top 3. That doesn't even include Corey Anderson. I mean, you've still got the experience and the power of Corey Anderson, and we've just spoken about the top 3 batters so far. 1 delivery to come in this over. Bangladesh dealing in singles in a T20.
My goodness. Of course, the Americans playing at home, so they will have been very familiar with these conditions. The Bangladeshis can be forgiven maybe for being like fish out of water. 1 ball remaining here in 15th.
Looks like we are going to be ending this over with another